Excellent. So, hi, Rachel. Thank you so much for joining me this evening.
Oh, it's a pleasure, Catherine. It's a joy to be here.
Oh, bless you very much. I know we've been chatting beforehand and talking about being a bit tired and everything going on. So we'll come on to that later. But first, I'll let you talk a bit about what you do and who you are.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I'm a conscious energy therapist and trainer. So what on earth does that mean? It means that I help people understand their body and mind through the signals that your body gives it, and understand how that fits towards your emotions and actually what's happened in your life. So a headache might have more connotations than you actually realise. I know we've put it down to stress, but there are very significant things that can bring on a headache, and they're very much maybe related to perhaps your gallbladder meridian, which is here. It's, this is the gallbladder meridian, is actually a really natural point that we would want to rub when we have a headache. Yeah, but your gallbladder meridian starts here and then actually runs through your body, through your gallbladder and out through the next point. So actually rubbing this, tapping on this, and just holding this when you have a headache is one of the best things that you can do to help release it. However, what people don't normally know is that there's a yin and a yang. So there's an opposite. There's an optimum time for your gallbladder meridian to work, and therefore there's a weak time as well, which is at the opposite time scale. So your gallbladder meridian is between, I'm having to look because I'm so tired myself, I do apologize, between 11 p.m. and 1 a.m. in the morning. So it's at its weakest between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. in the afternoon.
Ah, okay.
And your heart meridian, okay, is then at its strongest between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. So if you balance those two meridians out, so that would be here on the inside. It's a very strange place, isn't it? But on the inside of your little finger is your heart meridian. So if you could very gently, you could just very gently just sort of hold that point with your thumb on that hand, and then just very gently hold the other one. And it's actually quite a soothing thing to do to help balance yourself out when you've got a headache, and then you can release.
And the good thing is, even if you're out and about or in an office environment, when people are allowed back into their offices, that's something you can just do without being out of place. And
it's a really, because it's such a natural thing for us to be at our desk like this when we're looking down, and you can sort of hold that point without anyone really noticing, on the desk, under the desk, whatever. And it's great for children to know. It's a great thing for children to realize they are helping their internal body when it's chaos going on around them. And we all need right now tools which help us feel like we're gaining a little bit of control back in our lives when we don't have any control really of what's going on out there. But at least if we can bring some balance to our insides, and then bring some calm to us, then we feel like we at least have a little bit more time before we knee-jerk react to absolutely everything. So definitely. Yeah, that would be I don't even know how we got onto that, but headaches we were talking about. That's how tired I am this week. So even though I'm an energy therapist and trainer, I still get tired. It doesn't necessarily mean just because the word energy is in the title that I'm constantly full, okay, of bouncing around all the time. It's an acknowledgement that I understand what is happening within my body and within my mind, which makes the conscious part very apt, okay? Because when you are very aware and very conscious about what signals you're getting from your body, you can react to them quicker and quicker and quicker. So it stops all of that onslaught of stuff coming at you all the time. Pardon me. And the reason on every single video I think that I do, you will see me, and I apologize, because if you don't know anything about energy therapy, you'll wonder why it's okay for me to burp or yawn or stretch or get all hot and bothered when I'm on a video. But because I clear, this is a clearing mechanism. So whatever is stuck inside you emotionally or physically, it needs to find a physical hole out of you.
Yes.
And because I'm so tuned in now.
Yeah, you're setting me off as well.
Because I'm so tuned in now, I only have to say certain words or think certain thoughts, and I automatically start. Laughter is one of them. I automatically start to clear. And as that happens, as that clearance happens, it is literally your body has a chemical reaction and goes from a negative to a positive very quickly. Yeah. Which is why if you look back at this video, you will have seen me burp and then yawn and then giggle halfway through a sentence, because it's not actually something you've got a great deal of control over. Your body automatically does it for you when you're in that conscious state.
Yes, definitely.
So it might feel and seem sometimes that someone is acting very erratically, but actually they're just very fast chemical reactions happening to your thought processes and the language that you're using internally, which is why the language that you have as that self-talk in your head is so important, because your body is automatically reacting to whatever conversation you're having with yourself.
Yeah, that's it. I remember when I broke my elbow back in October, and so many of the doctors have been, and everybody's automatic response actually is, oh, it must be so painful. So I choose not to use that word. It's uncomfortable, yes, it's this, it's that, but I'm not going to focus on the fact it should be painful. I was so able to use the techniques like the tapping and the Reiki to relax and focus my mind on the things that were helping and healing, and just not focusing on the positives and not the negatives, definitely.
And I can imagine how much that must have helped you, because scientists are now discovering that pain is actually, our body has a memory of pain for usually only about 5 days when we have a trauma. So anything after that 5 days is usually a memory of an emotional state that we were in, connected to that trauma. So the more we can be positive and kinder to ourselves and have all that positivity around it, or at least acknowledge how it's feeling, but and help it release, then the after effects for recovery are a lot easier and a lot faster.
That's it. I remember one day being particularly uncomfortable, and I forced myself to smile, and in that instant it went away. It was
wow. That's powerful. Did you record that? You should have recorded that.
I know.
That would be quite interesting.
Gosh.
But when we're in that moment, that's the last thing that we think of, isn't it?
That's it. But I remember, the morphine cloud I was in for a few days was quite something. But I managed to be off any pain relief, I think, in 5 days after.
It's so powerful, Catherine, and I know that I'm finding now, because I'm working with a lot of long-term COVID clients, and they're coming to me with physical symptoms, and their physical symptoms are, but they are also quite highly anxious, but their main reason for coming to me is the physical symptoms. Yes. But then when I ask those deeper questions, the physical discomfort that they are suffering is just as intense, really, but they put it down to the outside environment that's causing that. So when we dig a little bit deeper into just the physical pain, say a frozen shoulder, someone's got really bad actually a frozen back, and she was very specific about the lung, her right lung in her back was very, very painful. And within the space of 15 minutes, we moved, the pain had shifted from her right shoulder down to her arm. Then it dissipated down into, I can't even remember now, but somehow she felt it expel out of her fingers, and she just said, "This is really weird." She said, "I can just feel all this fizzy stuff coming out of my fingers." And so I said, "Well, how is your back? How is your shoulder?" And then she started to giggle. So when I was saying earlier about that giggle becomes involuntary, she said, "This is really weird."
It's brilliant.
Because it's gone. And I can just now feel this fizzy stuff in my finger. But she couldn't stop from giggling because it was just so bizarre that the techniques that we used.
The body thanking you for tuning in and doing it, is it? It's like relief coming out. And
the language that she gave me and the techniques that we used with that language that she gave me, and the way that sort of I helped her reframe all of that and reframe that understanding, really helped her release very, very quickly. She was ready to release it. She'd had it long enough. She'd had it since March last year. She'd had it long enough, and she was ready. And then by the time we'd finished the session and we'd worked on other parts, by the end of it, her shoulder really had gone. Both shoulders were fine. It had worked its way up her neck. We worked on her neck. So the physical symptoms can be eased with energy therapy, which actually works on an emotional level, because we're holding that. We're making our body so tense that we're holding everything in. And when it holds in, if you think about, how we feel about if we're on a PC all day, or, the kids are on their things and they're playing away, or on our phone, watching TV and we're scrunched up. This position is actually very normal. But as soon as we start to work just on our thumb meridian here, your lungs want to spread and be free. So it actually allows your shoulders to drop. And as your shoulders drop, that tension starts to release from your neck and your back, and you start to relax, and it affects your whole posture.
Fantastic.
So again, the people that I work with, they find that actually their whole posture is changing as they become freer and freer in their own body.
Brilliant.
So it's amazing.
And to be able to do it, like you say, when you're watching the telly, and just sit and tap on your thumb, relax yourself, give your body a break. A great thing. I remember one of your first courses, and you mixed sort of the chakra healing with the tapping, and that was just amazing. I think it must have been back in March. When did you start doing
it? It was actually, I think it was March, because my dad passed away on the 7th of March, and I think I did a couple of weeks to help me through. I did lives every couple of hours, sort of to help me through, but I knew everyone else needed the help, so we did it together. And then it wasn't long after that I thought, well, I'll do a 3-day challenge or something for us all to work together, and that was really, really beautiful.
Oh, it was fantastic.
Really beautiful. In fact, I'm going to do another one, because I think that was as we were coming out of lockdown, wasn't it, that I did that one?
Yes.
And I think as we're going to come out of lockdown, hopefully in March, I'm going to do I think it'll be I think it's the 15th, 16th and 17th. So that's not next week, the week after. I'm going to do another little challenge in my group, which is very much going to be based on the same type of principles as helping ourselves get ready to come out of lockdown and face the world again, really, because people's confidence after 12 months of this has been completely knocked in so many different ways. And just communication, it's so hard for people.
That's it. And you're just bombarded, because we're so used to the same surroundings when you do go out. And I just went for a drive just with my two kids last night, because we had to get the battery on the car fixed, so it needed a little charge up. And just driving around the town, and memories were just coming at us. Like every second, me and my boy were like, oh, remember this? And oh, we went there and we did this. And that was in the space of about 10 minutes. So we were just being bombarded with so much more information as well.
Yeah. And I think that'll be lovely when we've got that flexibility to move around again. But then that added sensory overload of other people being there with us while we're having that experience is going to be quite an overwhelm for a lot of people, from going from just our little homes to suddenly being out. And it might only be a handful of people, or, you know, however many people, but for some it's still going to be a little bit of a shock to their system. So if you've got some skills in place that you can take with you, and they're just at the end of your fingers, use them. Absolutely use them.
I love the figure of 8 around the eyes to just relax and take you into the chilled out place.
Absolutely beautiful. Can't beat a bit of infinity.
Yes.
Infinity forehead. Fabulous.
Is that part of your logo, your new logo, did I see?
Yeah, well, yeah, I've just been playing around and I quite like that one, so I might use it. I'm not quite sure yet.
Oh, the right one will come, won't it?
Yeah, it will.
Awesome. So yeah, I've put the link to your group on my pages.
Thank you.
I'll pop this on YouTube as well. You're on there, aren't you?
Yeah.
And yeah, is there anything else you would like to share? Any top tips or anything else coming up?
Keep looking after yourselves. Keep talking. Keep that communication going, because it's when we stop that communication that we stop listening to ourselves then. Okay. And it's really important that you listen to yourself and acknowledge exactly how you're feeling, and then do something about it. Otherwise we keep on that little hamster wheel of acknowledging how I'm feeling, and I acknowledge how I'm feeling, and I'm feeling really bad, and I'm feeling really bad, and I'm feeling really bad, and you're going round and round the hamster wheel. But then you have to do something about the not feeling great. Okay. And even if it is just, oh, I feel a little bit better than I did a minute ago, so I'm just going to take another deep breath. That was quite nice. And just being really honest, it's not a great major change, but it's quite nice. And that quite nice is better than it was a minute ago. So if I do it again, I wonder if that's going to be quite nicer than it was with the quite nice. So you just do it again and do it again and do it again until you're building up momentum, until it feels quite good. You've gone from the quite nice to the quite good. And therefore, which is better? What feels better for you? If you're feeling quite good, you've built some momentum up. So why not keep going and see how far you can go? You might then want to get up and move around and actually, oh, that feels quite nice when I stretch out here and let my shoulders move around. That feels quite nice in my shoulders right now. Bring it back to the really simple, really simple, and keep repeating it until it feels really good.
Fabulous, fabulous, amazing. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're more than welcome, Catherine. It's been a joy to spend some time with you.
And I'm just, it's brilliant, like you say, about reaching up and keeping talking to people. This time last year, we didn't even know each other.
I know. I
feel
like I've known you forever now.
That's it. There's always someone out there that can help, isn't there? And there's always, you know,
there is.
Comfortable phoning a friend, or I'm always like, if I'm feeling down, I don't want to burden anyone. But there's a whole world of people out there that are there.
Whatever it is that we are hiding, we're only hiding it from ourselves, because everybody else is feeling that emotion too. And at some point in their life, everybody has felt shame and everybody has felt guilt. Every single person. And just because you're feeling it now doesn't mean that I haven't ever felt that, or that Catherine hasn't ever felt that. So it is something that we can all appreciate and understand and have some compassion for. And those drawers that we keep putting that guilt and that shame away in, once we let it out and we empty that drawer and we go to that drawer that, you know, that we overflow in the kitchen or wherever it is, and we just put all that stuff in to hide it. Well, if we give that drawer a bit of a clean, it's got all that space to move around in, and it might just go and escape out the window and leave you for good.
Yeah, so much better. Put it in the recycling. So much better. Awesome.
So get some clean drawers on, guys.
Absolutely, that is a great place to end it. Put your clean drawers on, and yeah, sleep well. Sleep well. We'll be doing the tapping and the infinity and all the lovely techniques. And yeah, I know you've got lots of YouTube videos as well, so people can.
Yeah, absolutely. You're free to you know, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I haven't done as many recently because I've been getting my online course ready and up and running, and that's now well underway. So I will be doing some more shortly.
Lovely, lovely. Well, I will let you go and enjoy the rest of your evening. And
thank you, Catherine.
I'm sure we'll be in touch very, very soon.
Thank you very much. Take care.
Thank you, and you. Bye-bye.
Bye.